You're listening to AM Rockland's News, the Week in Review. I'm your host, Tom Osa. Thanks for joining us today. Well, first of all, Happy New Year. I hope everybody has a happy, healthy, and prosperous New Year, including me. But let's all do it together, right? 2025 is behind us, 2026 is here. So let's talk about the news and everything that is awesome and sometimes not awesome in Rockland County. First of all, we want to thank our sponsors, Yabu Fence Company, Dana Pest Control, Easy Temp, Kobe Sushi, Susan Bova, and Lauren Molino Muller, Whole Shot Bagels, 99 Signs, FZ Perfection, Clean Space Maintenance Management Company, and of course, our premier sponsors, the New York Boulders, located in Pomona, New York. Again, I'm your host, Tom Osa. Thank you very much for joining us today, and let's get right into the news. This is going to be a quick broadcast. We know you're just getting back into the swing of things, so we're just going to go right down the news, let you know what's going on in Rockland County, and so that you can make some informed choices, especially over this coming weekend. First of all, it is 24 degrees, high of 29 today, so obviously bundle up. Mostly sunny, maybe a little cloudy. Depends on where you are in Rockland. It's Stony Point over here. It's fairly cloudy. So Saturday, tomorrow, it's going to be 31-degree high, all cloudy, overcast, 20-degree low. Sunday, it's going to be sunnier, but still 33 degrees and 17. And then for your morning commute throughout next week, right now, Monday is going to be 27 degrees and with a possibility of snow with a low of 16. So you definitely want to bundle up for that as well. All right, let's talk about some of the news that's happening around the county. First of all, Rockland County, I'm starting with the most positive, most awesome, and most vital news for all of you, because you're all going to use this. Rockland approves $87.8 million sewer upgrade and seeks a new sewer authority. The Rockland County legislature has approved a significant $87.8 million capital project for sewer district number 1, which serves parts of Ramapo, Clarkstown, and Orangetown. So you think about the network of sewerage underneath our grounds, and this is going to help to modernize it. Major pumping stations to boost the infrastructure reliability, and lawmakers also voted unanimously to request home rule authority from the state to create the CR, Clean Water and Sewer Authority. This new entity would replace the current sewer district and streamline the bonding process for future capital projects. And if you think about it, and one of the hot topics of 2025 was home rule. And if you think about it, approximately, I want to say about 6 to 7 months ago, County Executive Ed Day declared a state of emergency, indicating that it was unacceptable for New York State to transport individuals that may have come from other places outside of the United States, transport them into a hotel in Orangetown. That might be 2024, admittedly. It's all blending together. But home rule was an important component of a lot of these measures because it means that local government can make decisions and it's not superseded by New York State government. So very important piece of that. And having an $87.8 million capital project set up in order to update and modernize the local sewer district. I'm sure home rule comes into play on if New York State goes out there and says, no, you can't do this, no, you can do that, it might slow down the process a little bit. And of course, I think everybody that woke up this morning needed proper sewerage and pipelines and stuff. All right, let's move on to the next thing because I really just destroyed the end of that entire. Hey, we're sticking with the schedule. 10 o'clock in the morning on Fridays, 4 o'clock in the afternoon on Fridays. And you can check the rest of the schedule at rocklandsnews.com/live. And we are going to, for the entire year, aim to stick with this schedule because we have to. We are the only live streaming entity in Rockland County now that WRCR AM 1700 is gone. So we decided last year Take the flag, run up the hill, plant the flag. Flag is now planted, and now we're reporting the news. Senator Bill Weber's third annual district-wide coat drive brought in more than 8,000 pounds of winter clothing this year. That's a record. Bins placed at 21 locations across Rockland were consistently filled, with donations sorted and distributed by volunteers from Oxford House, Rockland's Boseys, and others. Clothing was delivered to local organizations like United Way and People to People, providing warmth to residents in need. On a bit of a down note, flu cases are spiking across New York, including Rockland County, and the county is certainly feeling the impact. Nearly all of the 1,244 reported cases in the county are type A flu. Local doctors and pharmacists are noting unusually high activity for this time of year. Highlands Medical's Dr. Howard Feldfogel described the season as one of the worst in decades. Neighbor RX Pharmacy in Pearl River reported overwhelming demand for vaccines and flu treatments, with supplies running out earlier than expected. In related news, North Rockland Facebook community group is reporting that there is a significant increase in norovirus, which is not one of my favorites. I'm sure it's not one of your favorites, stomach flu. So there is a significant, obviously, the cold weather and such. It's pretty Captain Obvious. Protect yourselves in whatever ways that you can, and hopefully everybody will be, at least for the 2026, because that's all we can predict right now, happy, healthy, and prosperous. Beatrix Maria Bolson of Stony Point is celebrating a $10 million win from the New York Lottery's scratch-off game. She opted for a one-time lump sum payment of over $4.2 million after withholdings. The winning ticket was purchased at Stony's Food and News. In the last fiscal year, Rockland County schools received over $53 million in lottery education funds. A Haverstraw police officer has been disciplined after surveillance footage showed him grabbing and shoving a teen outside Central Market La Bodega in August of this year. The encounter followed the town's Dominican Day parade. Police Chief John Gould confirmed disciplinary action but did not disclose specifics, citing personnel policies. All officers have since received retraining on arrest tactics, not just the officer being disciplined, but all officers in the Haverstraw Police Department. The teen was charged with disorderly conduct. And this one hits me close to home. Barnes & Noble in Nanuet is set to close on January 18th, 2026, after 33 years in operation. The closure is due to the end of its lease. Customers are being redirected, at least according to this, to the nearby West Nyack location or to shop online. The Nanuet Shopping Plaza has seen several recent closures, including Marshall's, as part of broader commercial changes in this area. I'm just going to take a side note here. Let me help redirect you as well. And there are a variety of libraries in Rockland County that are awesome. I'm just saying that because, quite frankly, I have a very close family member that works at one of the local libraries. I've always been a reader all my life, despite my insanity. You should see my bookshelf. So in Rockland County, there are a ton of member libraries in the Ramapo Catskill library system. Blauvelt, Haverstraw, we have Haverstraw King's Daughters Public Library, the Nanuet Library, the New City Library, the Nyack Library, Orangeburg, Palisades, Pearl River, Piermont, Sloatsburg, Spring Valley, Stony Point, Suffern, Tapan, Tompkins Cove, Valley Cottage, West Nyack. So yes, we are losing one Barnes & Noble, and I used to attend that place all the time. Again, I'm an avid reader despite my lunacy. But where it really started was at a local library, Rose Memorial Library in Stony Point. And that's where I developed, I would say, a lifelong reading habit, and I think I'm the better for it. If you ever went to a Barnes & Noble, consider swinging by a local library. They have a variety of programs that I can't even delineate in its entirety right now, but I'll give you an example. For those of you that consume audiobooks, I believe there is an app called Libby, Libby, that you can listen to audiobooks for free. And it's funded with your tax dollars, ladies and gentlemen. So, not to preach, but check it out. If you're driving past the library over the next 30 days, consider taking a 15-minute walk through. I know we're all busy and we got to stay on point like the Marines at this point, but consider just dropping by your local library and checking out all they have to offer. And I know firsthand that just about every one of the people that work in a local library, except for the customer service rep that I spoke with about 2 weeks ago, I didn't like him. Other than that, most people really, really care about helping you to develop and learn and grow. And I think that that's a good place that you can start, is in your local library. All right, let's get back onto the news. $95.8 million rebuild of Lake Sebago Beach set for completion by 2027. Governor Kathy Hochul has announced the awarding of a major construction contract to rebuild Lake Sebago Beach in Harriman State Park. The beach, closed since Tropical Storm Irene in 2011, will be transformed with modern amenities, including restrooms, playgrounds, a promenade, and parking for over 900 cars. Supported by state environmental bond funds and capital funding, the new facility is expected to open in summer 2027. I have many awesome memories of going to Lake Sebago when I was a kid. My grandfather used to take the family over there, and I am very much looking forward to the opening of the new facility. I hope you are too. So I said this is going to be a really quick live stream in and out, but I would like to finish by announcing, and I mentioned this last week, our team put together, thanks team, a very comprehensive amount of times that we're going to be on the air for the Rockland News live stream. So I'm just going to read it off to you real quick. We're going to have some really, really great guests, some really good information. And by the way, we're not going to be on every single day. We're going to be on more. It's going to be 4 days per week: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. And the reason why we can't do Thursday just yet is personal. I have meetings all day on Thursdays. Quite frankly, I run 2 companies plus Rockland Music Fest. So we really can't do that, but we will continue to improve. So let me give you the live stream schedule. On Monday, we're going to have the week ahead, because on Monday, you're usually looking ahead. I know I am. I don't know if you are, but the week ahead. All right. 10 o'clock in the morning to 11 o'clock, we're going to do the news, traffic, and weather so that you can make informed choices for your week ahead. And then if anything happens on that day, we're going to be back on at 4 o'clock. We'll still report the news, traffic, and weather so that you can make your drive home. But in addition to that, we might have a guest or two, depending upon the schedule and availability. Tuesday's the big day. And we had a lot of conversations about this over the last 3 weeks. Obviously, if you've been tuning in at all to our podcast and live stream schedule, right now thankfully, we've had County Executive Day very consistently almost every week in 2025 on Tuesdays. Well, we decided to expand on that, and occasionally we have various local town supervisors, but Tuesday is going to be all about local government, chambers of commerce in the area, as well as a business report. So at 3 o'clock, we're going to have a mix of, for instance, County Executive Ed Day, the local town supervisors. That's going to be at 3 o'clock. And sometimes we'll have other officials representing Rockland County. We've had Senator Weber on our show. We've had Congressman Mike Lawler. And we're going to expand on that because we're going into an election year, ladies and gentlemen. So we might have some conversations with some potential elected officials so that you can get a better vibe of who you want to vote for. At 3:30, we're going to have a new podcast series called Boots on the Ground. And I've spoken with every single chamber of commerce in Rockland County, except for one that never gets back to us, but the Nanuet Chamber of Commerce, the New City Chamber of Commerce, the North Rockland Chamber of Commerce, Nyack, Pearl River, Suffern. We're going to go round robin every single week, and we're going to feature a different retailer or small business in that particular area. All right. And it's funded by the Rockland Chamber Alliance. We started this like about, I don't know, 7 or 8 years ago. And it's just a group of chambers of commerces that get together for different events. We go to, like, for instance, the saloon in Pearl River. We use the rooftop bar and all the members of the chambers of commerce and such a variety of awesome business people, service people, people that care about Rockland County, and also retailers that have great, cool stuff. I'm headed over to the new Tim Hortons in a little while just to interview the owner over there. So that's going to be a series, boots on the ground, retailers of all shapes and sizes at 3:30 in the afternoon, right after County Executive Day and or the various town supervisors. That'll be so 3 o'clock County Executive Ed Day, 3:30 p.m. Boots on the ground. That is an exclusive series from Rockland News. And at 4 o'clock, we're going to have the business report with my colleague Mitchell Kahn, Kahn, Mitchell Kahn from Hunter Financial. He's been in the investment sector for many, many decades. Not exactly before fire was invented, but I'm 50 years old. I think he's like 48, something like that. So he's a really cool guy. I know him for many, many years. He's a good friend and an awesome colleague. And he's going to jump on and talk about what's going on in business, not just in Rockland County, but like the broader perspective, so that you, if you're a business person, can also make informed choices. Because sometimes you are boots on the ground and you're getting things done, and it's really tough to, organize and get things, get more information about the future. But this will be a comprehensive podcast at 4 o'clock on Tuesdays about that. So as you can see, Tuesdays are going to be very, very, very important. So I suggest you tune in. The biggest challenge was making sure that we did this at the right time during the week. And the way that we figure is that retailers, they're starting to ramp up on Tuesdays, and service industries, service businesses, they're kind of like settled into their, if you will, their routine around that time. So it's a good intersection. It's not too late in the week where it gets wild and crazy, guys. And it's not too early in the week where you're just rushing to get started, or you're winding down from the previous weekend, that sort of thing. So Tuesdays it is, local government and chambers of commerce. Wednesdays, we're going to keep it going with Mike and Tom in the morning. That's my colleague, Mike Kluger. I know him for almost 8 or 9 years. He's a really cool dude, and he keeps me in check from some of the ramblings that I say on the show. You take it with a grain of salt. It's lighthearted. I think it's fun and enjoyable, but you make your own decisions about it. And the podcast for all of these things, all of the shows, will be on Apple and Spotify thereafter. Typically 24 hours after. We just got to do post-production. All right. We're also going to have a sports roundup. By the way, that's at 8 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday. We're also going to have a sports roundup with our premier sponsor for 2026, the New York Boulders. We are very appreciative to work with them on Rockland's Music Fest 2025, and can't mention anything yet, but we'll see what's going on for this year. But the sports roundup is going to be with the New York Boulders, and we're going to go around. We're going to talk about what happened with the Bulgars baseball team, and we're going to start. Drum roll, please. I think there's actually a drum roll thing that I can use here. Let me see if I can find it. Okay. We're going to start bringing in local sports teams like RCC, the colleges, things like that, and the local high schools. That was the number one requested thing. The number one requested thing that people asked for, that they asked for in 2025. Why don't you have sports? I didn't even mention it because I didn't even know what to say. It's like, because we don't. I'm not that much of a sports guy. I mean, I played tennis in high school. That's pretty much it. I was okay at it. As a matter of fact, in cross country, I tried that in my freshman year over at Albertus Magnus. I placed 88th out of 89 runners, and the 89th runner threw up. So I don't know if that counts. Yeah, I'm just not a sports guy. I bicycle. I play tennis. Well, I used to play tennis. But yeah, so we're gonna get some really cool people reporting on that isn't me. And one of them is going to be, and I'm not kidding about this, Tom Brady. No, not Tom Brady, that Tom Brady. But I found a Tom Brady. His name is Tom Brady, and he's actually involved in sports performance coaching. It's perfect. Some of these things just lands right in my lap. I don't know how it happens, but it does. Special thanks to John Sandak for connecting me with Tom Brady. And Tom Brady is going to be reporting on some sports things that I'm not because he's better at it. So, yeah, it's going to be really interesting. I think Wednesday for us is going to be the most fun day. And I hope you'll tune into it because the day before with local government and chambers of commerce, I have to be a little bit different. I got to be a little more stodgy. So I'm gonna play it straight. I'm gonna play it, nice and really just asking questions and really just trying to give you, the listener, a better perspective on what's going on. And I hope you'll join us for all of that. And then Friday, we just wind it down with the weekend review. 10 o'clock again, news, traffic, weather, weekend events via Rockland Events. By the way, that's like the redheaded stepchild of our entire ecosystem of digital properties. We got Rockland's News, we got Rockland's Web, we got Rockland Shopping. We also have Rockland Events. Needs a little bit of a redesign. Stay tuned, but it's already got some great events on there, like for instance from Maureen's Jazz Cellar, things like that. You got to check it out, but we're going to do a little redesign on that. But the thing that's really cool, and we really worked hard on this over the course of the last month and a half, is Rockland Shopping, where it's a retail directory of over 400 different places in Rockland County where you could have shopped if you're into small business shopping, and some really cool boutique stores on there. Jewelry, clothing, wellness challenges. I mean, think about it right now. Perfect time of the year to get back into the swing of things as far as like going to different places for exercise and cleaning up the food intake and all that stuff. So yeah, Rockland Shopping. So we're going to be talking about those things typically on Fridays. So news, traffic, weather, weekend events, and shopping. We'll do that at 10 o'clock in the morning. And then depending on how we feel, we'll either do a rebroadcast of the 10 a.m. at 4 o'clock or we'll do something live. To be perfectly honest, it's, it's a lot of work during the week. So, sometimes it might just make sense to not rehash what happens if there's nothing new going on. So we'll go with that schedule. I hope you'll join us for it. And I think that's it for now. I hope that everybody had a really, really good New Year celebration, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, the whole 9 yards. I hope you had a great time and you had some quality moments with your family and friends and the people that you care about the most. And hopefully you weren't able to see any of your enemies and be like, I don't like you. You don't like me. Let's walk away. Anyway, I want to thank our sponsors one more time and thank you for staying with us while we went up the hill and we planted the flag in morning live stream podcasts. Now the WRCR is gone. It's just us. But we want to thank Yabu Fence Company, Dana Pest Control, Easy Temp, Kobe Sushi. We love Kobe Sushi. Susan Boba, Coldwell Banker Realty, Lauren Molino Muller, Howard Hanna Rand Realty, Whole Shop Bagels, 99 Signs, FC Perfection, Clean Space Maintenance Management Company, and finally, the New York Boulders baseball team. Thank you very much for sponsoring us. We appreciate you, and we'll see you next time. Happy New Year, everyone. We'll catch you soon.